Call of Duty Zombies has been around for 12 years now, and we've had a lot of Zombies maps in that time. But clearly all of you can read the title and you can see that over the years there has been Zombies maps that have never seen the light of day. So we're going to be going over 5 unreleased Zombies maps in this video. Now I want to ask you guys a very quick question. If you could decide any location for the next Treyarch Zombies map, where would you want it set? Let me know down below in the comments. Since we're all anxiously awaiting the next Zombies DLC in Cold War, I thought this would be a fantastic video. So if you'd like to support it, then you can do so by hitting the thumbs up button below until it turns blue. And on the run up to Christmas, you can get 30% off everything at checkout on G Fuel using code Dalek. So if you've been eyeing up a particular flavor, want to restock or never tried it before, now is a great time to do so. Diving straight in, this first map is a little bit of an unconventional choice, but this is Kino De Toten, wait for it, in Call of Duty World at War. Now for those of you unaware, Kino De Toten was going to be a 4th DLC map for Call of Duty World at War, but due to the release window of that DLC being around the same time as Modern Warfare 2, Activision wanted to build the hype up for Modern Warfare 2, so instead of releasing it beforehand or afterwards, they just cancelled it altogether. And when you look deeper into Kino De Toten as a map, it does have very similar features to Der Riese. It's the only map in Black Ops 1 with an original style teleporter and the only map to have dog rounds. Now of course the rest is history. It made it to Black Ops 1 and it's probably one of the most iconic Zombies maps ever released. And if it wasn't on Black Ops 1, there'd actually be a lot of differences, like the M14 and Olympia being replaced with the Gua and the Kar 98. And the Thunder Gun would have probably been replaced with the Wanderwaffe, because there are unused quotes that exist in Kino for the characters using the Wanderwaffe DG2. But the next map we're going to be talking about is one called Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom is a cut Zombies map from Call of Duty Black Ops 1, and this was found in the game files when the second DLC pack is downloaded. So bearing in mind that DLC comes with Call of the Dead, there's references to another map called Temple of Doom. Now it does sound very similar to Shangri-La, because hey, the whole map is based around a temple. But 9 years later, we've never actually heard from Treyarch themselves if Temple of Doom is Shangri-La or a separate map altogether. And I'd like to think it is a separate map, because Temple of Doom is a reference to the Indiana Jones movie of the same name. Now some of the thematic themes and storyline of Shangri-La do tie in well with Temple of Doom, where Indiana Jones and his sidekick are ricocheted into a dangerous adventure in India in search of a magical Sankara stone and uncovers an ancient evil which threatens all who come into contact with it. And in Shangri-La, Brock and Gary are the trapped explorers who are trying to find the temple to get the focusing crystal. So they definitely sound very, very similar, but Shangri-La is codenamed Temple, and this is straight out a map called Temple of Doom. So after all these years, we still aren't sure if this is referencing Shangri-La or indeed a cut Black Ops map altogether. Let me know what you think. But coming in as one of the most famous unreleased Zombies maps of all time is Paris in Black Ops 1 Zombies. DLC 4 for Black Ops 1 was originally going to be Paris. We can go back as far as 2009 to Der Riese to see an actual in-game image of zombies under the Eiffel Tower, placed as an Easter egg to obviously foreshadow the map. So what happened to Paris and why did we get Moon instead? Well, the Paris map had a significant amount of development already complete on it. Jimmy Zielinski, the Zombies director at the time, wanted to change the setting to be Moon. They wanted a much bigger scale for the ending of Zombies and to go out with a bang, quite literally. Now what I'm about to show you is super rare, but here is an actual development image of what the Moon map looked like when it was also Paris. You can see that the Eiffel Tower is going to be so large that it would have the entire size of the biodome underneath it as playable area, and this was supposedly going to be no man's land set underneath the Eiffel Tower. Tunnel 6 and Tunnel 11 that we know of now were originally going to be based around the Paris catacombs, which I think would have been absolutely incredible because there is so much history and lore behind them. And if you look in the files of Black Ops 1, the Moon map is still called ZM_Paris, which is absolutely crazy and just proves that it really was going to be a thing. And there's also been a lot of rumor and speculation over the years that since Paris was a heavily marketed theme within Modern Warfare 3, especially considering what happens to Paris and the Eiffel Tower in the campaign, it would be very confusing to have Paris in Black Ops and then suddenly have Paris in Modern Warfare. Warfare. There have been some pretty awesome custom zombies maps over the years that have tried to replicate what Paris was going to do. One in particular made for Black Ops 1 custom zombies is called Perish. And the map even includes the full Eiffel Tower model, which was originally going to be in the Paris map in Black Ops 1. And strangely enough, the Eiffel Tower model made for Paris exists in the Black Ops 1 mod tools. One day I would love to see the actual Paris map and what we would have gotten for the final DLC instead of Moon, but hey, we did go out with a bang. Now we're going to stay on track with Black Ops 1 because there is another DLC map, which is a Vietnam map. And we only learned about this recently in 2020. A Raven Software employee called Nick Coles shared concept artwork for multiple different zombie types that were Vietnam themed, and no doubt we're going to be part of a Vietnam themed zombies map. Now, isn't it funny we're talking about a Vietnam zombies map when it is heavily rumored and teased by Treyarch and Cold War that it is going to be a map location that we will see. However, the Vietnam zombies map we are potentially going to get is probably not going to involve any of these incredibly weird zombie types. Now, what's interesting is pretty much all of these zombie types were eventually used somehow in a Black Ops Zombies game. So the first is a smoke screen zombie, and the tactic to take this out is a flamethrower, which could suggest we could have seen that inside of this Vietnam map, or indeed at some point in the Black Ops Zombies DLC maps. Here we have a look at a standard zombie based on a pre-existing model of the soldier in the top left. What's really weird is the next one is a martial art themed zombie, which I think we didn't see until sometime in Infinite Warfare with Shaolin Shuffle. The next concept is the only proof you need that there was going to be a Vietnam themed zombie map with these two Viet Cong zombie concept artworks. This one is really crazy because to me it looks a lot like a boomer from Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. And honestly, looking at the description of 1 to 3 random plague-like sores on his body, this may have been the inspiration for the Thrasher in Zetsubo no Shima. And finally, we end with a zombie oxen, which is just absolutely insane. Like, could you imagine this thing in Black Ops 1? It was going to be a random singular ox, or it could have been dragging a demolished car, or it could have a zombie driver, and there was multiple in stampedes, which is crazy. And I think we eventually saw the light of day of this as the zombie elephant in 9, which is absolutely awesome. But imagine all of these concepts in one single zombies map. I think it was planned, you know. With Shangri-La concept art around Raven Software Studios, I'd like to think maybe they had a massive part in Shangri-La being developed. But whilst we didn't get a Vietnam Zombies map in Black Ops 1, it does look like one for Cold War is on its way, and it's probably going to be very different to what a Black Ops 1 version would ever have been. Now, just before we get to number 5, I have an honorable mention for this video as another unreleased zombies map, and technically this is unreleased. This is Nagda Toten on Call of Duty Mobile. It released for a few countries as a beta test for a week or so, never got a full worldwide release, with the zombies mode being stripped away from COD Mobile entirely. This was a really interesting take on Nagda Toten because we've had so many remakes of it now, but this actually evolved Nagda Toten a little bit, where you could venture outside of the main confined building and actually go ahead and explore outside the crashed plane site. There was going to be an elevator to take you to a secret underground lab, and there was going to be a big Easter egg with some sort of boss fight, and we even have the Pack-a-Punch machine within the spawn room. Now, if you told me 6 months ago that Nagda Toten was going to be remade in Cold War Zombies as the first map, I would have laughed at you. But perhaps COD Mobile was sort of like a taster for what was coming around the corner for Cold War, and maybe this is why this map got removed from COD Mobile altogether. I mean, this map was trying to be Nagda Toten with these new additions, while D Machina is trying to be D Machina. But it's so cool to see all the different universes of Call of Duty and their own takes and versions of different maps, and this is one of them that's now lost to time. The last unreleased Zombies map is a rumored one for Black Ops 4, and it was a new Chaos map set in the Library of Alexandria. Reputable website codtracker.gg recently revealed in an article that a untitled Zombies map codenamed ZM Blue based on the Chaos storyline was in development for Black Ops 4 Zombies but never released, and this could be the exact map it was going to be. Throughout the Chaos story, there was various hints towards the Library of Alexandria. We had it in 9 where the library must stay hidden, and we had a massive clue to it during the ending of Ancient Evil where the Oracle revealed herself to be Medusa and says, "I will open the library, the world will be mine." Chaos story is going to pivot in a huge way because every map leading up to the ending of Ancient Evil required the crew we played as to complete a trial. It's very possible many of the trials were set up to lure Scarlet to Medusa because Medusa needed information locked inside Scarlet's mind to unlock the Great Library that we believe to be the Great Library of Alexandria. And this info will allow Medusa to harness incredible power through the library. Now, for context, Alexandria is an ancient place, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The Mediterranean seaport of Alexandria was founded by Alexander the Great around 330 BC. With his architect Dinocrates, the young emperor paced out the plan of Alexandria, scattering barley meal in the sand to mark the locations of palaces, streets, and buildings. The city was rectangular in shape and ordered in a grid system with its length exactly double its width. But what made the city truly unique was its role as a center for learning and scholarship. Alexandria was built around a simple yet staggeringly ambitious idea, that of holding in one place all of the knowledge ever accumulated by man. A great library was established there to become the memory bank of the ancient world, filled with books and parchment scrolls containing everything from poetry, drama, and literature to more advanced subjects like mathematics, anatomy, geography, physics, and astronomy. The library was one of the original and most spectacular hostages to fortune in all of world history. It was a sequence of natural disasters that saw the original city swallowed by the sea, but the library had vanished long before. It was claimed neither by cataclysm nor by catastrophe, but by man himself. The classical Greek playwrights had invented the concept of hubris, the fall that comes after overweening pride and ambition. Looking back across the millennia, there seems a terrible inevitability about the fate of the library at Alexandria, because what other destiny could have awaited this first universal archive, the store of all human intellectual achievement, than total destruction? This would have been such a fascinating place for our characters to go and to see the storyline be explored here, because Ancient Evil is full of ancient Greek mythology, and this would have continued it on in a huge way. And in the real world, there's been no physical evidence found of the library until only 1996, which is pretty recent. It could have been a fantastic place for the Chaos story to go. We might actually have one of the only remnants of something from this map being the Eye of Apophis, which is a lethal melee weapon in multiplayer. Eroding the edges of reality, dark necrotic energies offer a cursed promise of power. There is no doubt in my mind that when you see this, it just screams zombies, but for some reason we never saw it, and I truly do think that this was going to be in a future Chaos map, which could very well have been the Library of Alexandria. If you haven't already, drop me a comment, let me know what zombies location you like to see, and if you enjoyed this video, you learned something new, give it a like, subscribe, you can catch another video on your screen right now, and do check out my second channel, MrDalek, which will be linked down below. But thank you for watching, I'll catch you next time.